Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday Q&A, which this week should hopefully go out on time because it's been recorded on Friday afternoon due to the fact that I got back early on Friday. I sort of kind of had a mental week, and then this week has been all over the shop, catching up on last week, a couple of in-betweeners, and also because it's a bit quiet because of whatever's going on. I've got crazy things going on in the house at the moment. All good things, all nice things, but yeah, everything's all over the shop. So this week you should get it all in time. But we did come up with the idea of splitting them up, particularly if I do a video in which the responses could be of use to people, as it was this week was kind of about helicopters. So this week we're probably going to do in one hit, but I'll just do your responses to the idea of splitting it up. Godzilla's, thanks very much, guys, for being supportive, by the way, as always. He says, whatever it takes, kid. He says, all good. If you ask me, daft enough, no, mate, I value your opinion. I would say Sunday Q&A could be many parcel of videos. It doesn't have to be like that heavy, he said, either way, we don't mind. So thanks very much, my friend, for your support. T says, change the name from Sunday-ish Q&A to Pete's Weekly Q&A. Job done. I thought about that. I thought about doing it on a Sunday and then doing half of it on a Wednesday, but then I'm not always around on a Wednesday. So it's kind of a work in progress, but I'm pleased. Like I say, thanks very much for being behind me. Martin Bonev says, just don't stop doing them. Martin, I'm not about to stop doing them anytime in the near future, my friend. Like I say, I kind of like the sound of my own voice. I'm just grateful people are listening, So, Tiffy, so Cornwall says, this has come here for no apparent reason whatsoever. We'll come to that later. Sorry, my friend. Finally, Johnny Van Currier says, it strikes me it's to do with the new phone has a high quality output. Because he does his own videos, by the way, Johnny Van Currier, I'm not sure. And he says, with a higher output, like the 4K, 5K output, great if you're making Alien, but if you're doing YouTube, it's not necessary. He says a standard definition of 720, 25 frame rate, that kind of stuff. If I change the content, if I change the upload quality, it'll go up quicker. I'm learning all of this. I've got the new camera now. It records in 4K. I'm not sure. And then I've tried to put the Edinburgh video together, which I did last week. It took me 3 hours just to edit it, and I still haven't finished because although it's only 30 minutes long, there's a lot of 2-minute bits, 2-second bits or bits and pieces that are necessary. It's all just work in progress, guys. The joke is, when I was sort of 18 years old, I did video editing, but I did video editing. We had 2 videos. One you'd plug into the front of the top loader, one in the front of the other one you pause. And it's a different world now. But I'm sure that within a few months I'll get the hang of it. And I'm sure that, don't get me wrong, I think the whole thing just takes time. It does take time. But time, okay, I'm prepared to throw the time at it. But when I do get the hang of it, I'm sure it'll get a lot easier. And of course, I've got my mate Nick from London Creative, who's got his own channel and does all this stuff on video editing, all that kind of stuff. And he's my godsend because I go, Nick, mate, how do I this work? And he sort of, I would like to say it's with a reluctant sigh, but I don't think it's like, it's kind of like Hong Kong Philly's cat. I'll talk you through it, Pete. So, Nick, once again, thanks very much for all your support. Like I say, check out his channel. But all the video and the photo things is great, and he's my man on the thing. But we'll get there, boys. In the meantime, helicopters. That was bizarre, turning up to a load of helicopters. Tammy Max official says, a helicopter licence with lots of smiles. Do you actually need a licence to fly a helicopter? I know you need a licence to drive a car or drive a truck or drive a moped. I fell off on my CBT. But I think I'll probably tell that story before, in fairness. I presume you must need a licence to fly a helicopter, although the guy in the video, I've got to say, wasn't flying it very high. It was only about, 10 feet off the ground. So had it have actually suddenly stalled, it didn't have far to fall. Generally, they don't. Generally, I've seen them, and they fly quite high. And, they do all sorts of interesting stuff. I believe you probably do need a helicopter licence, and that way you'll be allowed to park it at the aeroplane station. So, yeah, I'm sure that's probably the case. Paul Bevan Says, I know. He said, I know where you are, Thuxton. There's helicopter supplies there, and apparently the Hampshire and Isle of Wight medical helicopters also land there. Yeah, it was Thruxton. Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely. Saintsman, the small van carrier says, is that Sywell Airport, Pete? I live 10 minutes from there. I don't know if Sywell Airport is the same as Thruxton. I don't think so. Once again, world's worst courier driver. I know where nothing is. I booked a job to Swindon today. Couldn't remember where Swindon was. Kind of thought it was up country and went, no, it's not M4 corridor. How can I not know where Swindon is? We've been doing it 3 years. But anyway, it all worked out okay, so that's fine. And Joe Render says, you didn't say take care, take money. I did. I just didn't say it at the end. I said it in the middle because I thought it was the end, and then I didn't say it at the end because I didn't know it was the end. Like I say, I'm learning this video editing thing. I'm getting there. I've got the camera now. I bought 22 quid from Amazon for like more beach chicken shake. I've got, look at this. Tripods everywhere. My bag. My courier driver's bag. I've done a video on that before. It's full of tripods. Tripods and batteries. And do I use them? Still using the phone. But I'm getting there. I am getting there. Trial and error. Yeah, I'm coming back to the things I'm speeding with the track. Urban Trucker says, he says, oh yeah, no, that's right, I beg your pardon. Because we did at the end of the helicopter thing, speeding around the track. And of course, this week, I was at Brands Hatch. My mate, Urban Trucker, Nick, hello mate, he says, you'll be doing F1 transport at this rate. I was at Thruxton circuit for the helicopter job. Now you're at Brands Hatch. It won't be long before you're at Monaco. It will. I'm standard national. I can't get on a ferry if I want to. And do you think they'd let me into Monaco looking like this? I don't think so. He said, you missed a trick, mate. You've done some videos for the circuit mob. Yeah, I could have done some videos for the circuit mob at the circuit. As it was with the Brands Hatch thing, I had to sign a waiver. It really was no video editing. And I've dropped it off, and it's I'm doing it on behalf of, like when you get with the exchange for a little while, you end up kind of, particularly when you kind of move into the shipper side of things, you end up doing jobs in conjunction with people. And there's a guy who I know over in Watford, named Stuart, the nicest man. And a bit like I do jobs with HBC, I could do a job with my mate Simple Brian. He's the nicest guy. And so I've dropped off, and you kind of, I suppose I've got that kind of, I'm very lucky in the fact that I've got the communication skills, maybe a little bit, hence the videos, I suppose. And sometimes they kind of go, we'd like to book you again. And the guy I was dropping off to, the guy was kitting out the pits, he said, I know the firm as well. I picked him up from a long time. I picked up a lot of jobs from this firm. And they said, we've got loads of these. We've got Manchester, we've got Glasgow, we've got Edinburgh, I can't remember what he said, all over the place. And he said, I wouldn't mind booking you for a truck and a day rate, which is all right, but you're going to have to pay for me and Alice, and I don't know if it's going to work out. Having said all of that, yes, you're right, I could have missed a trick on it. He said, on the subject of unusual places, have you thought of doing a quick video of the very famous bridge near you? Might be interesting. What's the famous bridge near me? Because I know you're not far away from me. I know lots of famous bridges near me, like Vauxhall Bridge, Tower Bridge, Chelsea Bridge, QE2 Bridge. Presumably there is the one. I wonder if you're talking about the one with the train robbers. That ain't far from me. Stick it in the comments, mate. We'll maybe come to that one. He says also, we're doing one on co-loading. And what I'm saying, things that you can't co-load together. Like recently, I found out you can't co-load old mattresses and new mattresses. I'm assuming it's because some of the old mattresses might have like bed bugs in them and they might flick over. He said a big one on this one, the devastating consequences when the Mont Blanc tunnel in 1999, 39 people died after a truck caught fire in a tunnel. This is like kind of serious, a vehicle carrying margarine and flour, because the margarine accelerated the fire because it's fat and it's gone woomph, and the flour, being a powder, is explosive. So you actually, if you co-load on a lorry margarine and flour, what you're actually co-loading is a massive bomb. That's a bit of an eye-opener, that, mate. Yeah, lovely. Fantastic. And he said, and there's more to it. If you might want to read his comment. It's very interesting. But in the meantime, I'm going to hammer through this because upload speeds. On the subject of which, Van on the Run says, very true, Pete. He says, my weekly vlogs Oh yeah, because I'm saying it's also just a video diary. It's hopefully helpful to people, and also it's kind of like the day in the life thing sort of shows things off. But also I can look back on my life and I can remember what I was doing 3 years ago. Van Run says the same. He says they make me look back and think what I was doing before and reflect what I can do. Which has helped me. He said looking back on your video diary, on your vlogs, actually helps you. Like, looking forward and seeing the way forward. So, and you want to check him out. Van on a Run. He's the kind of guy doing day in the life more than me. Regular contributor to the channel, and to all you guys who contribute to the channel all the time. Eternally grateful. Thanks very much. Right, sleeping in the cab. You got a bit warm sleeping in the cab. Huang Dong says. He said, I don't quite understand this, but he says Snap or MSA. Don't know what that means. He says, any company that tells me to park in a lay-by only, I'd tell them to find another driver. So presumably that's that thing, I guess, because obviously I'm subcontractor. I pay for myself. But I mean, there'll be a lot of drivers in the HGVs that presumably pull up in truck parks, and they will get the money for pulling up in the truck park. They'll bill the company for it. It costs £20 to park for the night. That's your parking. So presumably also there are companies out there that they say we don't want to pay parking. So just there are laybys around. Find a layby, but truck parks are kind of better in the fact that you can get a shower if you want. You can get a toilet. There's food. There's you kind of got a few amenities. Whereas in a layby, often there is nothing. A field and some sheep. That kind of thing. So I do get that, but if anyone can shed some more light on that, because like I say, I'm a subcontractor, it's not really my thing. Would be grateful. Kenneth McKenzie says, he said, pick your bed and your truck carefully, because if you're not in one, you'll be in the other. Certainly true, my friend, yes. Or pick your bed carefully and make sure you're never too far away from a Travelodge. Because if I'm not in one, I might be in the other. Of course, and he's the guy that did the application to Company House, which was rejected due to sensitive words in the company name. MI5 Couriers. I don't think that sounds so bad. It kind of sounds a bit sort of efficient. If you called yourself SAS Couriers, no one would bat an eyelid. But MI5 Couriers, But anyway, he said the company has registered him for rapid formations. It is now M Small I5 Couriers. But so that's our man, Kenneth. Good luck with it all out on the exchange. On the subject of MI5, Mark Newman put me straight. He said the one on Vauxhall Bridge, the big building as you're going over Vauxhall Bridge if you're going south on the left-hand side, that's MI6. MI6 is foreign intelligence. MI5 is on Millbank. That's as far as I know, the difference between MI5 and MI6. MI6 is international. MI5 is national. So there we go. So like one's Sweeney and one's Bond, I guess. Any chance of doing an audio book of your latest bestseller? My latest bestseller. I think I sold about 6. It's the only way I read audiobook. I mean, I used to do audiobooks, and I would kind of I'd like to do an audiobook because I think you guys would really enjoy it. But I've got absolutely no idea of how to go about it. Yeah, London Creative says exactly the same. My mate Nick, he says you need to get someone to read the book, to put it on Audible for all the drivers to listen to. He says subtitles are fine because someone said about one of the guys said I like your videos, can't understand you, I can't understand you, and they said click on the subtitles. They don't always work so well with a London accent, but it's like all these things, isn't it? I'm learning as I go. I'm learning how to do video editing. Maybe I will one day. I did try recording it myself, but the greatest, really. Not a reading out loud, I stumble and then I sort of go off on a tangent. And if anyone knows anything about putting things on audiobooks, I know it's a truck driving channel or a courier driving channel or a delivery channel, let me know. Lee Westcott says, Pete, write a book about your YouTube videos and your courier driver. It's weird, actually, you should say that. The first book, Shall I Go On, Mum, I was going to be a trilogy. And then I wrote the second one, I didn't like it. But I've now got the plan for the second one. But it's a 3-parter. And the second chapter will be the courier exchange. But you can only do so much in so much time. And at the moment, I'm working on the second book for The Incredibles. Available to buy on Amazon. It's a fantastic rip-roaring roller of a novel. I'll do you a link. Because that's what I want to do. I do it on Sunday mornings. It's about 2-3 hours. I just sit in silence and write. It's nice. I like it. So, but yeah, whoever knows. If I ever get some, if this gets big enough that people can pay me a bit more dough, so that I don't have to drive a truck 24/7, then maybe I will write that book. We'll see. But thanks very much for support anyway, Lee. Domain name guy says, right, we're on to planning a route via Google Maps. He said, because I got stuck in traffic, didn't I? He said, whatever Google Maps says, add 2 hours, which is tight. I always add 3 hours, plus a taco to allow for traffic jams. The good thing about Waze is Waze has actually worked out how fast I drive and how long things takes. Because I was on the road laws, I still want to like it, but kick me out. It's kind of playing the game at the moment, but I can't do with something that's intermittent. Waze is always bang on. It always works. Tells me the traffic. Tells me if it tells me I'm going to get there at 13:57. I get there around about 13:57, give or take 10 minutes either way. It's normally my fault if I get lost. It just doesn't do the low bridges. I just wish Waze could do width restrictions and low bridges, and then all the others will be blown out of the water, but they're not So, and he also goes on to the things that you've got to do on lorries. Have you got your crash out in an open yard? I've actually been told off in a yard for getting on the side of the truck without having a hard hat on. I'm on the side of the truck. I look up. The roof's about there. Like, what's going to hit me on the head? I mean, come on, mate. And also, 4's gold and 4's silver. As a vlog topic, I said I'd write this down. Where's my pen? It's over here. Over here in my driver's bag. Pen, vlog topic. Yeah, I've got a question on 4's bronze, silver, and gold. I'm going to have to look it up because I don't know. But I have, although I don't know what you need to be 4's bronze, silver, and gold, I have been in situations about trying to get on sites which require it. And, so we will do you one on that, mate, Domain name guy. Thank you very much. Right, we're into miscellaneous. Oh, right, now I like this. Very pleased with this. This is Be Home. Like I always go, when you speak to the CX, if you think of joining the CX, don't tell them, if they say you're going to give it to them, they ain't going to give nothing to me. They don't give nothing to me, which is fine, because they gave me a living, and as a result of which I get a few quid out of YouTube adverts and the circuit mob. So I ain't crying about it. That's fine. You guys take it. Please take it. But I always go, I don't know. When I say ask them for say I watch Pete's videos. I'm thinking of joining the CX. What can you do for me? Be Home says, on the subject of signing up to the CX, speak to Parish. Now, I know Parish is one of the boys. I've met them all once when I had to go and do a small removal job for them. They're decent guys. They're all right guys. They're nice. They're just nice guys. He said, speak to Parish. He sorted mine out last week and told me I only needed the starter package. Well done, you, Parish, for not trying to sell him the top package if that's what he needed. Good man. He said, which is what I wanted anyway. He said, I mentioned Pete and I had the choice of 40% off the cost or 3 months extra on my membership. Happy days, thanks, Pete. Be Home, well done, you, for saying it. And if you were given the choice of 40 quid off or 3 months extra, take the 3 months extra, because that's worth 300 quid. The membership, I think, for 6 months is 600 quid. That might be more. So take your months. 40 quid's £12 a month. That's nothing. Or take what you like. Take the 40 quid if you like and go and buy yourself a pizza. I don't really mind. But I'm just pleased that someone got something just by mentioning my name. So brilliant. Mr. Hone, let me know how it goes, mate. I hope it pans out for you. Good luck. David Park says, hi, Pete. Love the videos. Would it be possible? Oh, right now. Yeah, no, you asked me this last week. Would it be possible to give advice to young transport managers? Well, I've spoken to Nick, the urban trucker, and he said, I'm speaking to him on a text, and he said he would be prepared to fire up a load of advice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till Urban Trucker gets back to me, and then I'll do one on advice for young transport managers. It's not something I can do because I'm not a transport manager. And also, Daniel, if you're watching this, if you want to fire me a text, any advice, I'll plug the two in together. It'll just be a video. I'll just be a mouthpiece passing on other people's information, which in fairness is what I do a lot of the time. I pass on the information from the wise guys, the guys who know much better than me. I'm just a big-eared, big-mouthed, big-nosed guy who just I'm floundering away in the dark. I'm getting there, but I'm floundering away. But I'm more than happy to reunite the people that really do know with the people that are just starting, so you can have actual proper, genuine advice rather than the complete nonsense that I talk all the time. Seb Hawkins says, I know this is very early to be asking this, but I'll be joining the CX in the near future, currently doing Hermes. I've got the lady who delivers to me Amazon. She's lovely. She's been doing it for 3 years. And I keep saying to her, you're on the wrong game. You're working too hard for too little money. Jump on the CX. You'll get the same money for 3 jobs. Rather than doing like she's doing 120 to 200 drops a day. I feel for these people. I do, So there's a better world out there, guys. He says, my question is right now. His question is basically should he should he start on the CX in November, or should he do Amazon in November and then start the CX in January? Seb, I'll do you a personal video on that one because it kind of ties in with times of the year, and I'll try and get it out to you soon. If you want the short answer, jump on the CX now. Because like Amazon gets busy in November, everything gets busy in November when it comes down to courier driving. It's the busy month because it's Christmas and everything's got to go bum, 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 bum. So you've got better jobs on the CX, you've got more money on Amazon, but CX is always better than Amazon. And, if anybody wants to disagree with me, please put it in the comments, but I don't think anybody will. Sam Elastic, on the subject of multi-drop, says, absolutely hate multi-drop, got stressed out with it, single drop for me every day. Wasn't me that said it, Seb, it's Sam. Listen, don't listen to me, listen to the other people. Right, now also, Van on the Run, as again, showing up, he says, regarding, because there's this thing about when jobs show up on the website, but they don't show up on the app. He said, I find that jobs will only show up on the app if you're in the area the job is posted or my home area. It should be set on the app to, I think it's 30 miles from your current location and 10 miles from your home area. Or it might be the other way around. It might be 10 miles from your current location. You can change it. You can you can either do it on the computer or you can ring into CX and change it. When I first started, I said, why is it showing me jobs coming out of Dunstable when I'm in Southampton? All that's doing is taunting me. I'm sitting in Southampton, I can't get a job, and it's showing me that if I was in Dunstable, I could have 3 jobs. The thing is, why it's doing that is it's showing you jobs for tomorrow as well. So I'm in Southampton going, I can't get a job. Hang on. There's one going out of my 10 miles away from my house tomorrow morning. I'm going to bid on that, and you get a jump on it. There is, however, a way that I called it one of my most important videos, and I still believe it possibly is because I use it all the time. A way that you log on from the phone to the desktop. Because, as, not to cut him short, as Van on the Run says, he said, I can only see jobs in the apps. Hang on. Yeah, I'm just reading now, aren't I? Really. Anyhow, look, we'll come back. We'll come back to it. But he makes a very good point, and I'll do a link to that video. So there is a way that you can set it all up. But yeah, I used to get frustrated with it because when we had the drivers, we would turn around and we would say, "There's a job coming out of Bristol. I've got a driver in Bristol. He can't see that job on his app," and they just denied it. But you don't have to worry about that because there is a way of logging onto the phone. Follow the link, and there we go. Right, so Van on the Run, thanks again for all your contributions as always. Tifioso Cornwall UK says again that thing about choosing the area. That's what that was all about. Zakira Albini says POD means proof of delivery or proof of payment. POD means proof of delivery. That just proves that it's just basically a receipt. There's like when you go to a shop and you buy the goods and they give you a receipt. And if the goods are no good, you can send a receipt. It's a receipt to say, you weren't there, you didn't turn up. Yes, I was, because I have got the driver and the driver signed for it, and here's the receipt to say, that Brian there. Sometimes you can take a photo, that kind of stuff. There's a few terms. We did a video on that one as well. That might help you. Paul Davis, he says, off topic, trying to find a weighbridge is like trying to plant fog. You'd think they'd be all over the place. There was a response to this as well. The best place to go for weighbridges is metal places, or places where we've got them near us. I think they're called ATMs or something like that, and they're where you take your car for scrap. And these places they're open, maybe say they're open 8 till 6. But if you get there at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, the place will be shut. But if you drive onto the weighbridge, there's a digital readout which is next to the kiosk where you go to. And that will tell you, so empty your van, fill it full of diesel. If you don't want to print out, if you want to print out, which is what my mate Ken did it, just so that he was covered. So you empty your van, fill it full of diesel, put your pallet truck on. If you've got one on your pump truck and your blankets and whatever, drive it to a weighbridge. You can go and get a printout. And that way you can, if you ever get stopped by the DVSA, you can go, this is how much my van weighs. They told me the load was 850 kilos. If it's over, it's on them. I've done the maths. At least, it may not well be on them, but at least it shows that you're due diligence rather than just, well, I don't know, mate. They don't want to hear, I don't know, mate. When they stopped my mate Martin for the removals, and they said, how do you calculate a weight? Where's he doing the removals? He said, I've got an app. So, they say, well, we've got one more driver. And he said, and the app calculates the weight. And they were like, oh, well, that's good. He said, they always turn around and tell me they've got less than they can. It's very difficult to tell the customer at the end. But he was overweight for the third time, but we're not going to go into that, Martin, are we? But they were very sympathetic towards him because he'd made an effort rather than just if you turn up with a brake light out and no straps and you're overweight, they are going to look very dimly on it, So, but yeah, alternatively, if you don't want to get a printout, if you just want to know, go to one of these places, drive on the weighbridge, there's a red LED and it will tell you how much you weigh. And also, if you pull off site and you think you're overweight, you are legally allowed to drive to the nearest weighbridge. That doesn't count 50 miles away. They're talking about 5-10 miles away. But if you try to drive to the nearest weighbridge, if you get yourself weighed, you can, I don't know if you can drive it back. I think you can. You can drive it back and go, take this off, it's too heavy. So, again, it's showing due diligence. It's not being reckless. They want us to be safe. They don't want accidents. That's what it's all about. Majat Mohammed, sorry, my friend, said, hi, mate, how do I validate a Spanish freight operator's license in the UK? It's kind of out of my field, this, Majat, but what I believe is your Spanish operator's license will allow you to run trucks from Spain. If you've got an international one, it will allow you to run your trucks everywhere as long as you're compliant with your paperwork. If you suddenly want to start running trucks out of the UK, I believe you'll probably have to apply for a UK operator's license, a British one. But if anyone knows better than me, as you all do, please let me know. And in conclusion, Roadrunners Dispatch once again, educated by the people that know better than me. Tesla already make roof tiles. They do make solar roof tiles. What a brilliant idea. I mean, I'm sure they probably cost £1,000 each, but I just look forward to a future where every house is just built. And, the power that, just when the sun shines, it generates enough power to power the house and power your cars and sort of no more emissions. And maybe, like when lockdown happened, and about 3 months, and suddenly everything started to grow. And flowers and animals came about because the scary people weren't around. It was kind of nice. We didn't make any money, but it was kind of nice. So, okay, it's a future that maybe my children, my grandchildren will see. As for me, all I can do is write about it in the book, The Unbelievables by Peter Coth, available to buy. Follow the link at the end. It's a good story. It's good. It's fun. It's a good story. You'll like it. I promise. To main name guy says, after 40 years of looking at personalised number plates, and he's come up with my name as a personalised number plate. I don't do personalised number plate. I don't do motors. Strangely, for a man who drives one all the time, I was having a conversation with another geezer the other day, and it's sort of like, the truck cost me 5k, the car cost me 2k. Never put your money in motors. It's sort of, they're for other people's eyes. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I like Alice just the way she is. But thank you anyway for looking out for me. And Steve Campbell says, because I said I'd give him a copy of my book. I mentioned that. He says, I was only joking. I will send you some yellow, white, and black tape to save you the cost of diesel. You're okay, Steve. That's fine. Thanks, mate. And he says, and Steve Campbell is never right. Ask Helen Campbell. Fourth wife. What other hobbies you got? He says, of the former three wives, a few police officers, a district judge, and so on. Mate, just because they told you were wrong doesn't mean that you were wrong. You were wrong, but that doesn't mean that you were wrong. And always remember, you stick to what is best for you. There's a guy I was talking to today, like, you know, he was in two minds whether to go. He didn't join the exchange, but he went on his own and he said, I'm doing all right, like, you know, so I'm pleased for him. I'm pleased for anybody who makes a go of it. Don't ever listen. Don't the things I've always believed in. Don't ever never ask for anything more than twice. Never refuse anything more than 3 times, and never take anyone else's advice. Sometimes it's good to listen to people because you might be crazy otherwise, but ultimately it all lies with you. And just because you've only ever seen white swans doesn't mean that black swans don't exist. Sometimes it's tough, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Right, that's it. So it should be up in time. Yeah, I'd like to say if I get around to finishing Edinburgh, that'll come up next week. And you give me some more ideas for more videos. Once again, thanks very much for all the support, guys. And take care. Take money.